So, folks, her life took a drastic turn after she met in an accident. Deanna Ray Clayton now suffers from what is called foreign accent syndrome. So, according to healthline.com, this happens when you suddenly start to speak with a different accent after some type of damage to the brain. Our guest this morning is a Jamaican, but now speaks with a British accent. Morning and welcome, Deanna Ray.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, Deanna.
How are you now?
I am doing okay.
First, let me say condolences because I know you lost a friend in the accident and a
Yes,
couple of your friends were seriously hurt, and you also were seriously hurt.
yes, I was.
Physically, how do you feel?
Physically, right now, it's been good. Normally, what happens is that when the rain is going to fall, I can tell you, when the time gets really cold, my entire body is in pain. But for the last 2 days, it's the first in actually 1 year and 6 months that I have not been feeling any type of pain.
Oh, which is
Yes.
fantastic. Now,
Woo!
obviously, you have a British accent, and we will get into that. But have you ever been to London, to England?
No, I've never been to London. I've never been to England. I've never even applied for the visa.
How did
Wow.
you feel when you? How long were you in the coma?
I was in the coma for 2 days.
And
When I
how
woke up, I was actually speaking American, they said. And then it went to Trinidadian, and then it went to British, and it's been British ever since.
how did you feel though when you heard yourself speaking for the first time and say, you never say, wait, where this come from?
Actually, no, because even talking to you now, in my ear, what I hear is my natural Jamaican accent. So I don't know that I have a British accent until I talk to somebody and they automatically start talking in proper English. I'm like, why are you doing that? And they're saying, because you're British. So I didn't know that I sounded British until people started to tell me that you sound like a British person.
So even now when you speak, you sound like a Jamaican in your
Yes,
ear?
I do sound like a Jamaican in my ear.
Oh
Wow,
my gosh.
that's amazing.
Deanna, when
Yes.
did not who, but when were you diagnosed? When were you diagnosed with the condition? And I find it so interesting. And how much reading have you done about it? Have you been able to connect with others who have the same syndrome?
Yes, well, I was diagnosed with it. I was in the hospital for a month. When I came out, I was diagnosed with it in about September of 2019. And my neurologist, which is Dr. Pencil, I had to do an MRI. And based on what they saw on the MRI, there is a small swelling in my brain, which causes me to have the foreign accent syndrome. And I also woke up left-handed when I've been right-handed my entire life. So I have been doing some research on it, but what I have found is that persons have suffered from foreign accent syndrome, but it's only lasted like 6 months or 3 months. So far, I'm the only person that it has lasted so long in the Caribbean, but in the United States, I have met two young ladies that they have woken up from their surgeries with a different accent.
When you say you are left-handed, like very competent with your left hand?
Very competent with my left hand. I had to sign something in the hospital to do a surgery, and I took the pen with my right hand, and I just could not write. And the doctor said to me, "Try your left hand." And when I tried my left hand, it was as if I have never written with my right hand before. Now, because of physical therapy, I'm now ambidextrous.
Wow.
Wow.
So you could use, I know what that means,
So
but
Two
you
hands.
could, you could, no, but you could use both of them as competently as you did before you met in the accident.
that's correct.
Wow. When you think about this, how do you feel? When you think about the changes in, well, I know you had some physical changes, but the changes in
Yes.
your voice and accents, how do you feel?
Well, at first, I really didn't accept it because then persons normally say to me, when you get emotional, you talk really fast, and then everybody keeps saying, "Can you repeat? Can you repeat? Can you repeat?" And I'm like, "But I'm talking normally. So how is it that you're not understanding me?" So at first, it was a little bit shaky, and it got worse because the foreign accent syndrome is caused by brain damage. And so I have short and long term memory loss. So I'm not able to remember anything on my own before January of 2019. And even if you try to talk to me sometime or try to say, "Dina Ray, you do know me from here," sometimes it doesn't click. So I do have that long term issue that I have to deal with. But apart from that, now I actually have accepted it, and I get really great customer service because of the accent.
You see, you take your trauma and you turn it into gold. That's a lesson right there, girl. I like it. But do you have any evidence before the accident, Diana, of your accent and how you were?
Yes, I do have evidence of how I sounded before, but the thing is, as I progress in my recovery, when you speak Patwa to me, I'm not always understanding. So I just nod and smile because, of course, I'm beautiful. So you think I'm understanding what you're saying. But I have videos of how I sounded before, and it's like so surreal. I'm like, in my head, that is how I'm talking to you. But when I look at it, that's not how I'm talking currently. And it's kind of every now and again, I go back and I'm like, oh, I know that girl.
By the way, do you understand Patois?
No, she just says sometimes she
No,
not. Oh.
sometimes.
No,
No, I don't.
so I thought you said you can't speak Patois, but you can't understand it either, you said.
No, I can't speak Patwa like fluently, like how you talk. I can't just speak Patwa like that. Some of my friends say sometimes when I get really emotional, it chips in, but I really can't see it. But then
You said, hold on, Deanna, hold on.
No.
Before you said that, you hear yourself in Patois, so you
Yes.
sound different to what we hear, but when we
Yes.
talk, you know, understand we.
Okay, the only thing I understand just now is understand. The word understand when you just said it.
Wow.
So even if you, because you could hear obviously, but so even if you attempt to speak Patois, it don't come out at all?
It doesn't come out how you'd like it.
We should put her to the test.
So tell me Wagwan Neville. Say Wagwan Neville.
Walk on never.
That's interesting.
Wow.
It's an amazing story. Well, first,
Yes, it is.
I'm so happy that you made it through this accident because it could have
Thank you so much.
could have been much worse. But what's the prognosis? You said some people take a little while, but are they saying you will come out of this soon and get back to a Jamaican accent or what?
No. Based on the MRIs that I've done, the neurologist is saying that he's not seeing any change in the brain activity, so he's not expecting me to speak Jamaican dialect anytime soon. What he suggests is that I do speech therapy in order to help me to speak the Jamaican dialect, but nobody seems to want me to speak the Jamaican dialect anymore. So I'm just working with it. And he did say to me, I can probably wake up one morning and speak a different language because now it's like my brain is rewired and it's trying to find what my language is. Because I woke up and there was 2 different languages before and then I'm stuck with this one. He says that I may wake up with a different language. I'm hoping that's not Spanish or French, but
Yeah.
for now, I will be British.
Yeah. You said earlier, which is my final question, that you had brain damage. So that only translates into you speaking a foreign language, or is there something more that's going on in the brain?
No, there's nothing more going on in the brain right now. I do regular MRIs to ensure that nothing is changing. Only thing that I suffer from for the brain damage is short and long-term memory loss, the foreign accent syndrome, and the change in writing hand. That's the only thing that I suffer from where the brain damage is concerned. I don't have regular headaches. I don't have off balance. So I have a really good physical therapist. So he actually ensures that everything is on point and everything works how it's supposed to work as best as it can.
Wow. Are you able to walk now, Deanna? Last question. Are you able to walk and physically, or you still need an aid?
Well, I tried to push myself to walk by December 2020. However, when I did that and I went to my orthopedic surgeon, he banned me from walking again because one of my injuries was my left femur. And even though I have a titanium bar in the femur, it's still not healing. And so he says to me, I have to be on crutches for the next 6 months to see if it can speed up the healing because it's now almost 2 years since that femur has not at all budged to heal. But if you ask me, yes, I can walk. I'm just not supposed to.
Yeah. Boy, what a fantastic story.
Yeah.
We thank you so much for sharing with us again.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm happy that you're with us. And I don't know. I was going to say I pray that you lose the accent, but I don't know if I want you to
No,
lose
you
it.
know, hear what she said. She gets the best
Yeah.
customer service. Me, I go start deal like that.
I
Like, hold on, Deanna, I want to thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for joining me. Deanna Ray Clayton. Me and you in ACM camp here. Me want good customer service.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. God bless you. And I pray that you will
Thank
be
you, guys.
100% in quick time. All right?
That was Deanna Ray Clayton, and we wish her all the best. Up next, calorie counting. Does it really work? We'll let you know. This is Smile Jamaica, the greatest morning show.
What a story. What a story.
I can't do it.
Fantastic.
My God.